Hi, everyone. My name is Rick Markuson with Realty Partners. I have been with Realty Partners now for 5 years. September 9th was my anniversary of the fifth year. And I'm excited to be able to share with you some ideas. I think that if you can implement them, it will help you with your business. This is kind of focused on getting prepared for 2022, which really is less than what? It's a little over 2 months away. And with the holidays in here, it's going to be here before we know it. And so I really believe that there's going to be some good nuggets even for the veterans. And bear with me, I'm going to be reading a little bit because I didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare this. So I'm excited to be able to share this information with you. I was in the 70s and 80s. I was in the sign business. I started working when I was 12. My stepfather really would have me working many, many hours. But I ended up starting my own real estate, my own sign company. So we would make the neon signs, the plastic face signs, paint billboards. I did all that. I did even in, believe it or not, there was a Fred Astaire dance studio. I did the disco lights and the neon flashing and the bulbs chasing around and all those crazy 70s things that we would do. But anyway, about the business is there was a saying, a business with no sign is a sign of no business. And that is so true. That hit me like a brick. It is true even in today. This is what 50 years later. How are your future customers going to learn about your awesome services? I see a lot of people that are really good at just communicating and going to events and getting referrals, but it hasn't worked for me ever. Maybe some after I build relationships, I get a referral here and there. But most of it, you really have to have a plan. And so, do you have a business plan? And is it written down? And, and how are you going to finance your business plan? If kind of reminds me of the dog going around and round and round, can't make up its mind where it really wants to lay, but he knows he wants to lay down there somewhere, but not quite sure when and where. And sometimes you tell the dog to go lay down someplace else. It doesn't even get to lay down on the rug because couldn't make his mind up. It's so important in real estate to treat your business, your real estate as a business. And to know where do you want to be in 2 years? Where do you want to be in 5 years, 10 years? It's amazing how your mind works when you have it written down. It's like a road map. We're going to go to the Blue Ridge Mountains here in a couple of days, Thursdays, and today's Tuesday. And we are going to take the Blue Ridge across from Pigeon Forge over to this cabin where we're going to stay on the north side of Georgia. Even though, I kind of know what this road and that road, I'm going to plan it, and that's only for 1 week and it's staying in a cabin out in the mountains. This is your business. My goodness, you need to have a plan. Spend the time, the next few weeks, the next couple of months, and work on your business. All right. And it'll be amazing what happens when you can measure it. You go, yeah, I planned that 10 months ago, and now look at it. It's already working. It's just amazing affirmation to continue to focus on your business and building it. And when things starting to happen, you get more confidence. Then, okay, that worked. Now let me work on the next one. A budget is real important. It's I like to say be wise and frugal, but don't be cheap. sometimes people, they just want to get away and with something that doesn't quite do the job, but it's a lot cheaper. Sometimes cheap doesn't make it. When I talked about the sign business, my goodness, we had the best of tools. My stepfather and I could go on a job and hang many signs. This is a Safeway grocery store, for instance. Can go in there on a Friday night, and by Sunday or Saturday night, or usually Sunday, we would be done, and there'd only be two people, and I was just a kid. And there would be other sign companies I recall that were doing a similar type of job, and they would have like 3 or 4 trucks and many workers, and they wouldn't get it done as quickly as what we did. And we were very professional and very systematic. We knew exactly what we had on that truck, where it was, and where to find it. And when we took something off, we had inventory and we made sure it got put back on. So we never had to not finish a job because we didn't have the right tools. Just like in your business, you've got to know what you have, what your strengths are. And I know I'm preaching to the choir with some of you, but really think about these things. Speaking about, when you have strengths, and sometimes you think, oh my goodness, I can't do that. That's not me. Those affirmations are so important. Put them on your mirror, read in the morning. I like to pull out the Bible, and I like to ask God to be involved in my business. And I think that's been a great reason. I know it's been one of the reasons why I'm as successful as I am. Now, just so you know, for those that don't know me, I've sold a little over 200 homes in the last 8 years. Now, that's not a whole lot of homes. That averages out about 25 a year. My best year was 38. But I was so busy then, I didn't have a time. I didn't have a life. So you got to kind of find that happy medium where you really want to be. And I'm older, so I wanted to focus on retirement more than keep building a business. And some of you are new in the business or a lot younger than me, and you want to maybe even get a buyer's agent and build it to whatever you see yourself at. And I think that would be a great way to do it. That way you can go on vacations and enjoy your money that you've made in the real estate, and have a better life, have a more balanced life. So let me read a couple of these. So make sure that you take the time. I love reading. I never went to college, so there's even my grammar and language isn't the best. But I'll tell you, I pick up the industry magazines. I know financing. I know programs for the real estate. I know the technology tools. I've tried almost all of them. I spent a lot of money, but you know what? I had like 10, I call them plates, but I had 10 different lead generating activities going, and some of them don't work as well, and I would weed them out. But you know what? That information helps you wow your customers, and it's so important because when you first meet someone, for instance, or you even get them on the phone, you gotta not only know what you're talking about, but you gotta know how to communicate with them. So knowing what's going on, what they've been thinking, where's the trends, what their age is, and what is most of the people their age, what do they like, how do they like to communicate? All that is real important. Make sure you have good tools. With Realty Partners, if they use, those of you that have been around for a while with Realty Partners, we have all the great tools, but you also need to implement them, and also make sure you have the tablets and things. For instance, I love making an offer right there at the house if I got an opportunity to, because one person has all that information anyway. I already had it in the computer. All we got to do is I put the address in, and boom, and our offer and the contingencies and so on. So speed is real important nowadays. It's always been, actually. And I think learning to implement other third-party services. I heard that there's even a service now that will help you put in an offer if you're driving around or can't quite get to a computer fast enough, you could even get someone to make that offer for you. We have transaction coordinating services. I think that is a bar none. It's so important to help you build a business, and eventually even have a virtual assistant or two, and then have a buyer's agent. It's real important the more knowledge that you have about things, the more confidence. You never should have to feel that you have to lie to someone or to make up something that you don't know for sure. I always told people, that is a dang good question, and that deserves me to do some research rather than, just give you a quick answer from the hip. I really would like to give you do some research and give you a good answer. People appreciate that. I even had someone, maybe a couple of times, write reviews telling me that's why they liked me so much, as I just didn't give them a quick answer. Building relationships is real important. I shared this before, and I'm going to get into some meat and potatoes here real quick, but I've gotten the most referrals when I've taken people out to dinner. Now, I used to do that after we were successful and we closed, but I found out that if we could do it, maybe the best time would be right after the inspection contingency's over. We pretty much know we're moving forward. Why not take them out to dinner then and make sure we go through the next steps, and also get a chance to bond with them and make sure that they know you appreciate referrals. It's amazing how many people haven't given me referrals until I ask for it. Once I ask for it, or I say, hey, will you keep an eye out for opportunity to refer me, share with them how is the best way to refer you, how you like it. And it is amazing, so it's just like a lot of times you would buy something if you go to a store or something, you see something, but the salesman didn't even seem like he really cared if you bought. So you said, you know what, maybe I'll just wait another day. But if I had a professional salesperson assist me, chances are I'm going to buy it every time right then and then. And I'm done and I'm happy because I got it out of the way, and it's something I can take off my task. So be a professional. I wanted to say one of the things that really helped me sell these 200 homes. Most of them I was working through third-party services, kind of like OpCity and that, Zillow calls. My goal is not so much to spend a lot of time on the phone. I wanted to communicate with them and everything, but I know their main goal was to meet and see this home. And I knew once I got an opportunity to share a home with them and my professional experience and how I can help them win, it would be better for me to show them by example right there in the place than try to tell them all these great things about me. So I didn't qualify them as much. I will ask them, if we find a home, if this home is something that you would like and want to make an offer on, are you prepared to make an offer? In other words, have you been pre-qualified? But I don't go in real deep and try to focus on that. My whole thing is to get out there and meet them. I ask them how long they've been searching and why do they believe they have not been successful if they have been searching for a while. And I usually get that it's the realtor that they've been using isn't very good, or they weren't able to do this, or they would keep putting bids in and they couldn't do that, or, so you kind of know how to present yourself with them. In some cases, I told them, hey, that was not the real estate person's fault. It's the market. But anyway, how to go in and work the best way for you to get them as a forever customer, because I'm not looking for them just for this one deal. I'm looking for them for life. Let me see. I also want to make sure that they're not working with another realtor, because I've had some of them, especially on Zillow, tell me, yeah, my realtor's too busy. on vacation or they're with family or out to dinner and I want to see the house now. Well, obviously I'm not going to go show them that house. And by the way, I never try to sell them that home that the first home that we meet. Now I have one back in 2014. I think I did that. The first home I showed them, they end up buying. I think I showed them 3 that day, but most of the time, I want to demonstrate my professionalism when I meet them at the home. And I ask them, if I can go ahead and share with them the good and the bad when we're walking through the home, because if you don't ask, sometimes people don't like you. If they love the home, they don't want you cutting it up, or they really don't want your opinion unless you ask them if it's okay. And so I take the opportunity to point out the roof, what kind of roof it is, the plumbing, the air conditioner, the age. If I felt that this home was not permitted, or if there may be some issues, type of materials, they love it. And I've even, the last one that I did that with, it was a couple of doctors, and I end up selling a really nice home. But the one that we met at they didn't like it all. But anyway, I like to meet people face to face. And once I've gotten a chance to meet with them, if I wanted to work with them, I was mostly successful doing that. So when you go in there and you act as a consultant rather than a salesperson, because almost every person's had that realtor saying, oh, look how beautiful this is. They don't even like it. It doesn't have the bedrooms. They didn't qualify them. And all they are is trying to shove this house down their throat. And I had to do that in the car business. And I hated that. So that's one of the things I made sure that I didn't do to my homeowners and my home buyers. So the first meeting had been a huge success. And I do ask for them that, before we go and meet on that first house, I wanted to make sure that I got permission that they're going to give me 5 minutes to talk more about what their needs are and what their goals are and so on and so forth. So in other words, I pre-qualify them there at the house. And then I ask them, do you see yourself being successful using me as their real estate professional? And I get that commitment. Otherwise, I don't continue to start just sending them homes. And we also will talk about, real quickly, we'll talk about financing options. We'll talk about contingencies. I find out a little bit more maybe of what their problem was. We could probably have fixed that if we would have done this or that, and set things up a little different than, if you don't know, how can you help them? I find out what their strong points are and their weaknesses, if there is any, and, time frames of moving and what's real important to them. It just works so well. Yes, I care. Truly, I care, because I want to win for them. I want to win for me and my family, but making sure you go that extra mile, it goes a long ways. And I'm sure a lot of you are doing that. And, ask them how they like to communicate. I think that's real important. When I'm on the phone with the people and I start telling them how great I am, people don't like that, so again, that kind of shows by example what I know and some of the costs and things. Let me see what this is. Those asking for referrals is real important, and your sphere of influence. I use this company. I just got back to them. I quit using them for a year or two, and now I went back to them. It's called By Referral Only. They have a whole bunch of ways to keep in touch with your past customers. And I'm even now putting in my friends and acquaintances, because they all have homes pretty much. You can get the neighborhood valuation like once a quarter, but keeping in touch with people is so important. And if you want to have business for the rest of your life, you need to have a system, and that's important. Lastly, focus on the building or adding different lead generation activities. I believe you should have seven systems in place. And you start off with one or two and try to add one or two a year, if not sooner. Even if you had a system that only brought you into, let's say, 4 deals a year. I've had some that would bring me in as much as 11, that one particular system. But if you measure that, let's say it costs you to do 4 transactions, it costs you $4,000, but it brings you in 25,000. That's fivefold. That's a pretty good, actually a 6-fold system. That's a pretty good system. And now you just go out and get 6 more of those, and that's how you build your business. And remember, you've got to treat your real estate as a business. It's so important. There's this program that, because this is true, most sellers are not selling their home today because their fear of, not being able to find another home. And using Curbio and Knox program are great programs. I was in the lending business, so bridge loans they don't do anymore, but this system works like a bridge loan. And I think even Nolan has used this, but I would make sure that I would, you could even market on, Facebook or YouTube, being a professional. I think you'll see me doing some of that here in the near future to show people how they could sell their home and still have the comfort of knowing they don't have to be, not have a home to move into once they sell their home. I also think FSBO is a great market. I had a really good program. I'll probably start implementing that again. I think working with investors, or, once you find 1 or 2 investors that flip 2 or 3 homes a year, that's a good business as well. I think the probate also is a great way to go. It's really simple, but it just takes time to get things going. The probate process itself takes a little bit, along to get going through the courts and that. But once you start getting that going, unfortunately, people are always passing away and their properties are going through probate. That is a steady, lucrative way to do real estate for years to come. So that gives you some ideas on how I felt that I was successful. Again, selling 200 homes in 8 years isn't bad. There's some of you that probably are maybe doing a lot better than that, and I hope so. But I hope that you could grab some of this information. What I shared with you, I know that if you treat your real estate as a business, I know you'll be successful because you'll have budget. You'll know when to be a little leaner. You know when you can maybe invest a little bit more. Setting your company, your real estate up as a professional association like I have, I've been able to take advantage of many tax breaks that I wouldn't have if I'm not wasn't set up that way. My wife and I have a lot of money set up in the 401ks that the business helped, matched. There's just a lot of good ways to run your business and start learning about real estate and how you can put together your real estate business and incorporate it as a business, and you'll find out that things will work much better for you. Good luck. And one other thing I would like to make sure that you guys do is I almost forgot, is replace those small low paying tasks with other people, other services. I mean, it's amazing what services are out there and businesses that can help you, and they'll do a better job than you can do. And that's how you're able to focus on building your business, doing your real estate, meeting your customers, doing the listings, and all the other things have someone else do. That's how you become successful. God bless, and I can't wait for 2022 to arrive. See you later. Thank you. Bye.